entitled The Tale of the Christmas Tree Fairy. Now this monologue was written by a couple of young chaps. At least they were young in 1972, as was we all, of course. And they were undergraduates from Bristol University. They'd been home for their Christmas holidays, and they were travelling back down to Bristol on a coach, way before technology, boring journey. So they put their heads together and they wrote this monologue. And of course, being good Yorkshire men, they wrote it in a good Yorkshire accent. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I give you The Tale of the Christmas Tree Fairy. Here's my safety net, that's why I'm looking at it. I'll tell thee an old Christmas story, aye, as was said round Lockfire one night, why all Christmas trees have a fairy on top, and why Santa's beard is so white. Not see it, It happened this way up in Yorkshire on a cold Christmas Eve long ago. When Santa was out doing his rounds and playing on sledge in the snow. Now he'd taken all presents to the houses, and then, when that job was done, he went round again with his fairies, putting Christmas trees up in every one. Now just when he thought he might finish and last houses were almost in sight, he went to fetch more trees off toboggan and found he was just 4 trees light. Well, this discovery quite upset Santa. So he gave to his reindeer a shout, "Whoa up!" and he sent for his Christmas tree fairy to chastise her for leaving them out. By gum, that a daft little fairy, that as daft as a fairy can be, when the loaded sledge last night, they must have left off some of the trees. "Oh, bugger," replied little fairy, which was really quite unfairy-like. "I'll have to go back to the factory." And with that, she jumped on her bike. "Just hold on a minute," said Santa. "There's a way that they wouldn't forget. Fetch 1 tree for each finger on left hand, and happen they'd get it right yet." So, off like a shot went our fairy. Much faster than light from the sun, because Einstein hadn't yet been invented, so she wanted to know it weren't done. Now, if you could have seen little fairy, there was trouble to come, you could tell, because when she counted her fingers, she counted her thumb in as well. Now Santa, he waited for hours, till his patience was getting quite dry, till at last he saw fairy peddling, for all she was worth, through the sky. But as the fairy got nearer, Santa's anger it grew more and more. He could see, from the load she were bearing, that she'd fetched him 5 trees and not 4. Then Santa got redder and redder, started yelling with all of his might, till the glow from his nose outshone Rudolph, and his beard began to turn white. "He that's stupid," he yelled at fairy, "that 4 times as thick as I float. Now go and put glass trees in houses, and as soon as that finished, report." So, straight away, off went fairy. And as soon as she'd been to the last place, she brought 5th tree back to Santa and waved it in front of his face. "Whatever shall I do with this one?" our innocent fairy inquired. So Santa, he up and he told her, because by now we were feeling right tired. Our fairy, she looked up at Santa, and her face, it turned a mite red. But being the good little fairy she was, she went and she did what he said. So now, at the end of my story, you'll see why to this very night, each Christmas tree has a fairy on top, and why Santa's beard is so white.